Welcome to the Magma Classroom, our weekly digital painting study session in partnership with Wacom. This particular classroom series focuses on the basics of digital painting, starting with the fundamentals of value, shapes, light and color. We've done a good few apples and spheres already in previous lessons, tried our hands at some more interesting still life studies, broken down simple landscapes, and even run a gauntlet of timed exercises to speed up the learning process. These 1-hour study sessions are aimed at beginners finding their feet with digital painting, illustrators who want to tackle new subjects to grow their visual library, and more experienced painters wanting to warm up or wind down with something different from their usual work. I'm your host Ryan, the resident artist at Magma, and together we'll be sharpening our skills each week with a new subject to study. Top up your mug and grab your drawing tablet. While you wait, be sure to subscribe if you're not already so that you can stay updated about future sessions. We'll be getting started shortly.
Hello everybody, welcome to the classroom. Minor issue here, I don't have a nib inside my pen. If you are joining on YouTube and you want to come along and draw with us, good, loud, whatever. Then you can find all the info in the stream description over on YouTube. If you are on Twitch and you want to join in as well, and you're doing a 1-hour study, just let me know in the comments. I will send you the links. So instead of doing a full still life today, a full-on still life setup, we're just going to focus on an object, and I thought it was a really interesting object that sort of fits quite well with our clubhouse theme, which is magical music box. And this thing's kind of like the snitch from Harry Potter, but kind of wooden and interesting. Just a lot of circles, which for some I'm sure is not a fun thing to have to deal with. But anyway, now before I get started, I need to find a pen. Hold on a second. I'll be back in a moment. Where did I put this thing? I have no idea where I put it. It's under my laptop, maybe. Fall on the floor. There we go. I've got it. I found the thing. Yeah, so whether you're a beginner or more experienced, doesn't really matter. Everyone is welcome, of course. You can dive right in if you're used to all of this. Some of you are regulars. Where's my light? And for those of you who are beginners, I'll take you through a bit of the process, a bit of my thinking. Screen. Cool, Mountain Pirate, hello on YouTube there. Make sure you're handed it once you're back in town. Cool. Yeah, well, it'll be here. So, Pizza Powers, what is the theme? So we're doing a study. This is more of a learning session. So yeah, we're just focusing on props. Let's see. Okay, the pen is sort of working. There we go. Just making sure everything works. Cool. So yeah, not like yesterday where it was that free-flowing kind of thing. We'll just draw whatever. This time we're trying to recreate a bit of our reference here. So first things first, we obviously have a lot of circles. Okay, so just to break things down, before I start anything, I'm squinting my eyes and just looking at overall shapes, the kind of silhouette of the shape. So everywhere where there is actually something, so it's the circle and another circle above it. Yeah, and that's sort of course, then we've got this bit as well. This sort of outlines then the silhouette, the shape, the space that it occupies in the image or in the screen. Okay, nexus. Of course, you can break things down even further from there to see what's inside, where we have a circle here, kind of have a circle here. We have a circle that wraps around, but it's just, what you can see is this curve, but obviously it wraps all the way around. Well, we're assuming it wraps all the way around. So there's all these different shapes that you can break things into. There's another circle within this one. Oh, there's a bit of a terrible line. So once you get the silhouette shape down, then you can start to kind of break things down into even smaller shapes. And of course, we've got stuff all on the inside here. The nice thing about this is that we've got two different materials, right? We've got the wood and we've got this metal, which is maybe brass. Let's clear that. So what we notice here with these, and what makes it obvious that these are two very different materials, is how much light they reflect. So obviously metal, as we know, it's shiny. How light sort of shines off of there or over there. Whereas on wood, we don't get these like strong, bright highlights. It's getting the same sort of light, but it's not reflecting such sharp highlights. Here as well, we've got really strong reflections. And then we've got that warped reflection as well. So we've got a slightly curved dome there. So we've got lots of fun shapes to play with here. If you want to assess values, you can also do that by shifting to grayscale view. You can kind of see where there's light and dark. This is a very well lit environment that this is sitting in. So, the lighting on the overall shape isn't as clear, but what you can do, let's see if this works. We go to our filter. I'm going to duplicate it. We go to filter, brightness and contrast, and just bump up the contrast a little bit so we can see those dark areas a bit more distinctly. So obviously our light is coming, coming from above, because this whole section underneath here is much darker than on top. So yeah, we've got light sort of reflecting over there. So it's definitely coming from above. I'll get rid of that layer now. So now we can get cracking. Yeah, I really like that bounce light in the bottom. To start off, now instead of trying to draw a perfect circle here to try and get this ball in, quite simply just use our circle shape tool. And you can either have it set to stroke or to fill. If we set to stroke, I'm probably going to make it quite a bit smaller. And while holding shift, you can just set a circle down. Easy peasy. This is pretty much the same. Let's just make a perfect circle. How big is it in relation to the other? It's not going to work. Let's do it on a separate layer. It's got a bit of bend to it. Ah! It's me every time. Shift T, not Control T. Yeah, I'm actually just going to freehand this one. It's a bit different. But we've got that basic circle in, and then I can kind of assess, looking here, where are the lines on this? Okay, this sort of cuts halfway. And set that in. And then we have this overall circle here, which takes up a huge chunk. Sort of like a Death Star. This could even come down more. Always make sure that you're sitting in a way where your elbow isn't below your tablet. Jeez Louise. I'm gonna go at this with just a paintbrush. I'm not gonna get all this even. Yeah, that works. So you can just go straight with a solid fill, and then lock the opacity and go for it. I'm gonna try and be a little bit messy here. That's meant to cover this. This covers this circle over here. This down at the bottom. Goes off into the back. I've made that way too far. Let's cut that out. If you didn't know, you can also just press and hold if you've got a keyboard with you. You need to erase. You just switch to your eraser tool. I just sort of like tapping there. You can press and hold E and it temporarily activates. And then when you release, it goes back to your brush. Just in case you didn't know about that. I've got this thing that hangs there. Okay. This is just a rough sketch. I'm not going to spend time here. I'm going to go straight into painting, actually. This is going to be fun. But if you are trying to get things exactly accurate, you do want to spend maybe a bit more time figuring out your sketch. Just so you know where things are placed. Yeah. Did I do this all in the wrong layer? I did. Let's put it down. And let's just start painting. So what have we got? We've got like an overall brownish kind of color. I'll start by just dropping in a bit of a background. We've got a gray here already. I'm going to shift this towards something cooler, more of like a blue gray. It's quite light. No, I didn't get a chance to play with that yet. Mountain Pirate, there's playing with the layer modes. And I'm just going to fill in a bit of background here. So we've got something down here. Probably add in a little bit of shadow as well. Just I'm not working on top of a blank area, and that it has a little bit of texture to it. Got a bit of the shadow information. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. It's a bit intense. It just has a little bit of variation. I'll probably, because the bottom down here is in shadow, I might want to accentuate that a bit by just having a slightly lighter value of background here, just to accentuate that a little, and they can fade out. I'm enjoying this retro synth music. We do have Cyberpunk on the agenda for next month. Got some music lined up for that already. Okay, so looking for this brown, I'm just going to fill in like an overall brown color in here. That's not too far off. I'm not going to color pick from here, but I want to use my color picker to help me just assess a bit of the saturation and see where it is in the color wheel. Okay, so what I had here was just a little bit not saturated enough. And I'll just use this as my base. Doesn't have to be perfect first time. Make this bigger. Why not? off. You should all have your blaze brushes active as well. If you arrived a little earlier before I activated it, you just need to refresh. Yeah, 100%. Adding a bit of contrast definitely help to direct the viewer's eye. And I'll chat about that as well again in a moment. Once we have a bit more value information down here, a bit more color. And it is darker in here, of course. What I want to do with sort of color of light is this. Maybe it's a bit of a cooler light, perhaps. So in the shadows, things get a bit more saturated and a bit warmer. Let's exaggerate this a bit. But now pretty much you can see, as Mountain Pirate was saying there on YouTube, we add a bit of contrast, it really draws more attention. So if we're looking along these edges over here, see how the edge here with the darker color stands out more than the edge over here. If I were to just make it a bit the same. This draws your eye a lot more than this over here, just to compare. So you can use that to your advantage and intention in time. And this is much darker here. And like I said earlier, with just finding the overall shapes, just sketching it down, there's circles, color. You do the same here when you're applying your color. Just look for big shapes, and then you can start adding in finer details later on. But just get the basics down first. Get the big shapes in first. This is kind of like a lighter. What is this? Something kind of like this. Probably should have gone in with the dark first. And we have this more orange, lighter, maybe slightly more yellow. And obviously there's this almost very distinct immediate turn from the halfway point of this orb. The light is almost like it's directly above. As soon as we start turning away from the light, the value changes. Kind of looks like a frog looking to the right. Interesting. I don't quite see that. It's cool. I'd like to see how you interpret it and bring that element out. My hand is in the cooperative mood today. Down here, things get quite a bit rougher. Let's sort of tight about things. Let's get loose. Let's get crazy. Let's definitely mountain. It's more desaturated. I suppose I can get rid of my sketch at this point, more or less. But let's just get this. Let's get this part down first. This shape here. Oh, I think I see where you're going with this now. It's over quite a bit. Oh, I lost my cursor. Hey, Lego, got you here as well. Nice. Hello, hello. Probably making more use of clipping group here and having worked on different layers, but I've kind of kept everything on the same layer. We'll see how it goes. Get rid of that sketch layer now. If you're just tuning in on YouTube or Twitch, you can come along and draw with us. The details are in the stream description. If you're on Twitch, just let me know. I'll send you the links. We've got we still got time on this thing. Just over half an hour left of the study, but it's a short time. Some folks might want to stick around a little longer. I'll probably adjust things from next month, where we'll start doing 2-hour sessions rather. 1 2-hour study session a week, and then our clubhouse. Yeah, this 1-hour thing, it's a bit of a challenge. It's a bit of a challenge. Make this one bigger. I have to shift to a display tablet at this stage. Yeah, I think Mountain Pirate, getting the way you tackle your gradients there, and spend time getting that variation with gradients would work quite well here. And I always like to remind others as much as myself that, yeah, actually probably more myself than anyone else, but that the idea here is not to get a perfect drawing, perfect painting. That we just put in the time. Put in the time to figure out the subjects we're looking at. Maybe it comes out the way we want it to, maybe it doesn't. That's okay. But it's a little bit of XP gained. Like right now, mine is just looking an extreme mess. It's all good. It's time to change. to the next section of the track. Here's my mouse. I'm losing my cursor a lot today. What's going on here? It's mostly wood I'm seeing. Right. Part of the problem is my curves here. Yeah, the light is, the color of the light is a bit tricky to figure out here. Overall, I mean, I think it's also the grading on the editing of the image, because even the gray in the background is on the reference image is, it's like a warmer gray, although it's actually shifts. It's more towards purple, but it still feels pretty warm. But maybe it's just the dominance of the sort of brown here. So I should be shifting my lights probably, because I was planning to tackle it in a way where in the shadows they're going to be warmer and the light would be a bit cooler. That's kind of the approach I was going for. Just tackle it my way if I can't really make enough sense of the reference. Yeah, when I color pick it, it's sort of like a. I mean, it's difficult to say. It's kind of on the color wheel. It shifts towards this like purple. But if we go into the shadows here, the shadows on the underside, yeah, there it looks warm. So this should gain a bit of saturation. Maybe shift in a different direction. But I mean, it's super gray. I mean, there's hardly any color in there, so I think that the color wheel tells me it's going to be a little weird. Trick is I'm finding is to get these circles to work properly with the perspective of things. So how it sort of gets narrower in parts. That's where my struggle is now. Teams do we have coming up for the longer sessions? I have a rough outline. Someone wanted to do a study of cats, so I think we'll do a big cat sometime. Where did I save this? Clubhouse. Yeah, spending a bit more time on wood as well. So do some tree bark and sort of more processed wood, but do like sphere studies, right? We just kind of look at some reference, bring it down into. And he says, "I'll be happy to paint cats over this." Yep, it'll be fun. See if we can get Adina in here. She's focusing a lot on cats at the moment. What else? I wanted to do some mask studies, looking at some interesting cultural masks from different nations. I suppose more with that, trying to figure out shapes and stylize those. How about dinosaurs? Let's do it. The only thing with dinosaurs is that it's we don't know for 100% sure what they look like. 100%, just because we weren't there. So a lot of it's all based on a lot of other people's artworks and renderings. But let's do it. Right in here. You know, so. And then for wanting to do a cyberpunk theme at some point in the clubhouse, do more of like an outdoor thing of phone booths or vending machines. But maybe then we'll be able to start pushing things in a way where we're looking at these objects, but then we can kind of start building up an environment around them or play around with lighting. So it's a study, but with a bit more imagination brought in. Yeah, one day we'll have the mesh and transform skewing capability. It's coming, it's in the works. What about some dramatically lit landscapes with nice atmospheric perspective? Sounds good. I'm always down for a few more landscapes. Let's do it. I'll see what RJ Palmer has got in the way of dinosaurs. We can try and replicate, study. If you have some cool images on that front, you're welcome to share them. Yeah, Mountain Pirate shared a few cool landscapes with me. I saw a really cool one the other day on Facebook. Iceland. Iceland's got amazing landscape. What the hell? How is that a real place? It's just amazing. Maybe one day I'll get to travel to Iceland. That'd be rad. Ridiculously expensive. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, of course. I gotta forget about James Gurney on that. Get our Jurassic Park on. So what do you guys think of the idea of, coming across dinosaur DNA, for example, or extinct species in general, and then trying to bring it back to life in 2023? Good idea, bad idea? Yeah. Yeah, interesting. The know-how is maybe valuable, whether we should or shouldn't. Yeah, well, that's definitely one major difference going to be on climates. I don't know. I feel like we should just. I mean, I'm talking about like extinct species from like way back, but for sure, like bringing back species that are a little closer in time, present day, that could be well enough adapted, that we have lost because of general silly human behavior. But when it comes to like prehistoric species, I'm just like, come on, we did Jurassic Park, we did it. Do we need to learn this lesson the hard way? It would be cool. Of course it would. Generally not wild about zoos, and I feel like it would just be like a big zoo thing. Right, so you were asking about embedding videos on Discord. Yeah, I don't know if there is a good way to go. I think there's generally size limits for local files that you upload. So if you can embed a video from like YouTube or something, I think it's just a case of sharing the link. But it's just gonna redirect you though. It won't go hosted there. That's actually, yeah, you're getting into an interesting point there about dying for a reason. Or if you bring back a part of the species that, nature's always experimenting, but one that was particularly susceptible to disease or carrying disease. Oh, we have DNA of this amazing animal, but we got the dumb one. Not the dumb one. We got the how would one term it? Just the vulnerable one, the less resilient. I was thinking more in terms of it was like set further in the future than Idiocracy, and then somehow another race. Oh, we can bring this species back to life, and they bring back the least intelligent of us, as an example. Maybe we should have left that one in the ground. Which documentary is this? Oh, Dinosaur on Netflix. Okay. I haven't really seen anything about it. Haven't been paying attention to Netflix for a little while because I'm all about that Disney Plus at the moment. Hashtag not sponsored. Where are we at? Oh, we only got 10 minutes left. This definitely didn't go my way. Looks better than the Apple version. Okay. Keep an eye out. I will need to reactivate my Netflix at some point because I've still got to catch up on Bleach. 1,000-Year Blood War. And there was something else coming out on Netflix. Was that Zack Snyder movie? Or series, rather, that's coming out. Something Moon. Rebel Moon, yeah. Brain kind of short segment there. Now I watched the trailer for it today and I wasn't convinced. What's that other thing that was coming out about AI? Oh, yeah, then there's the creator. Where is that going to show? That looked good. I think that's going to be at the cinema, though. So I looked today wanting to buy tickets for Ninja Turtles, or try again to buy tickets for Ninja Turtles. And they got no English showings here anymore. They only had it right at the beginning, in the first week of release. And now that's it. No more English viewings. I am not amused. I'm not impressed. Does the reference board app allow videos? No, are you talking about PureRef? No, as far as I know, you can't put videos in there. I think even GIFs don't work. What about a Notion document that you make public? You won't be able to like arrange things almost mind map like, but I think embedding, if I remember correctly, embedding is fine, that you can watch directly from the document. Try it. It might be the trick. I've been getting quite into Notion recently. Like my video scripts and initial draft for articles will get done in Notion. Interesting. Just wanted to try and ride the hype of Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, visually, it's got some of those elements, but they're more almost like clayish look to things. Some fun humor. I mean, if they've taken some things out of Spider-Verse book, that's alright. I think it should still be fun. But I did think initially when I saw it, like, I wonder what sort of influence Spider-Verse had here, because it was such a success. And of course, I mean, I think everyone's going to be looking at that success and what was achieved, and see about what they can do next to sort of push the level. As long as the staff are not burning out. Yeah, I think that vibrancy and those sort of pop outs. I still love I think I mentioned it yesterday. Someone just going on about being able to paint some grocery props for the movie and just loving doing that. A pretty simple subject, simple task, but I had such a blast doing it. Alrighty, we're at the end of the hour. I would have liked to get a bit of a better result here, but it's okay. It's okay. A bit more time. I know efficiency and brush economy is not a strong point for me. There's a lot of details still going here. Yeah, you know, props are, I think, also for a lot of people how they get their start. You know, going from your sort of like internship then into doing props for things. But it's like one of those things where a lot of people maybe don't notice in the beginning. It's obviously so important because it adds so much to a scene. But you can kind of, it's almost like it's hidden there. And if people take a closer look, then they see your thing. Ah, there we go, there it is. Oh wow, that's really cool. And taking like the seemingly mundane things of our everyday, making it fit the style of the production. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's an awesome skill. It's always like, my OC in the style of this, or there's always so much focus on the characters. But what would a World of Warcraft creme brulee look like? Yeah, creme brulee is maybe a bit simple. Maybe a tiramisu. You know. Hello, welcome. Alrighty, so we're ready to wrap up. It's sad that people think that no one wants to draw those things, all the backgrounds. They think AI is. Yeah, I don't know. I think with that, it's going to depend on the project. It's definitely a project by project kind of thing. And for some stuff, yeah, maybe an ethically built tool will be able to help a lot with some things. With elements of the process. I don't think it should ever be just slapping on the generated thing without the artistic hand applied. And I think for people who actually work in the industry, it is that it won't be, the generated thing will not be the final thing. I think what we see, the certain circles on Twitter or X or whatever, the kind of noisy types there with the generated stuff, they're very different from the actual production guys, but there are still problems. But that's a topic I don't want to get into. So yeah, let's wrap up here. You guys are of course welcome to keep going with yours if you'd like. I'll leave Blaze active for a little while, so you can keep going. And yeah, it's time for me to go get some food. A little reminder that on the weekend we're doing a weekend clubhouse. So we're gonna be doing fancy weapons. That's the theme. I have put I think I've done the reference board for that. But yeah, I will post that on Discord as well, so you guys can check it out and get the ideas flowing. And I will hopefully see you guys there. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks for joining. And thanks for joining. I need to say thanks for drawing. Thanks for drawing and painting with me, as always. If I don't see you on Saturday, have a fantastic weekend. We will see you again soon. Closing out.